Hi, this is Evelyn Levinson with HumanDesignForSuccess.com, and this is a celebrity chart review of Ruth Bader Ginsburg's chart. She recently passed on Friday, September 18th, 2020, and she was such an iconic person in our society, and the difference that she made was tremendous. And I thought it would be very helpful and interesting to look at her chart and see what we can learn about her from her chart and how she was living the full expression of her chart. So in the post on my website, I do use just the body graph itself, but for this recording, I wanted to use her full chart from New Sunwear, because it gives more details. So I wanted to start with, excuse me, with her type. You know, she was a generator. Now, just to be clear, I chose to use the 7 a.m. chart for her. I was not able to find a birth time for her, and I ran her chart for multiple times during the day and discovered that she changed from a projector very early in the morning, a 2-4 projector, to a 2-5 generator, and then a 3-5 generator after, I think it was around 9 a.m. She was a 3-5 generator for the rest of the day. But knowing what I know about her, my sense was that the 2-5 profile probably fit her better than the 3-5. So this is just my personal opinion about which chart seemed to fit better. It didn't seem to me that she was a projector given her life, and I'll describe a little bit more about that as we move forward. But so I chose this 7 a.m. chart to represent her. So in this chart, she is a generator, which I think makes perfect sense, given her intense work throughout her life, how dedicated she was to her work, and how people have described what a hard and diligent worker she was. And at one point she was raising children and going to school and helping her, taking care of her husband who was ill while he was going to school and helping him with his schoolwork. And she was just seemingly tireless in her efforts throughout her life, including several bouts with cancer, and continuing to work diligently as a Supreme Court justice, which meant a great deal to her, clearly. She was down here on the profile. She was, as I said, given this chart, she's a 2-5 profile. I think the hermit of the 2 fits with her and her sort of quiet demeanor. And the 5 also fits because the 5th line, it was unconscious, but she was clearly a leader. And the 5th line is a strong leadership profile energy. I also want to mention her emotional solar plexus authority, which was consistent throughout the day. There were just a very few things that changed over the course of the day of her birth in her chart. The large majority remained the same, and she was emotionally defined throughout, and a split definition throughout, and nearly all of the gates and channels were the same throughout the day. So emotional authority, I wanted to bring that up because I recently watched or rewatched the Legally Blonde movie. And in this movie, the first-year law student, Elle Woods, in her very first day of class, one of her law professors quotes Aristotle saying something like, "The law is reason free of passion." And I wanted to bring that up here because in this chart, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was emotionally defined, which means that she had emotional ups and downs, and it was probably her dedication that enabled her to ride her wave to arrive at a sound choice, a sound decision. I think she instinctively knew to take her time to get the clarity that she needed in order to make wise and beneficial decisions, not only in her life, but as a Supreme Court justice, making largely impactful decisions that affect the entire country. So I think she was careful about that. I want to now look at the nodes. She had, oh, I can't just, yeah, there, I was able to So select just those. So she had the entire channel, the 3740 channel in her nodes. And the 3740 channel is a tribal channel that is about contracts and agreements and bargains. And this energy so speaks to being a lawyer, paying attention to the legality of contracts and agreements. So this was clearly a huge theme in her life and a huge drive in her life. So that's a perfect fit. I also want to look at her Jupiter. Jupiter is where we have our greatest blessings, growth, and expansion. And here she has the gate 47, conscious and unconscious. And the gate 47, we often call the gate of the mindset. And this is an ability to be deliberate about how you see the world, how you perceive the world, how you interpret the world. It's the classic case of, do you see the glass half full or half empty? And often I think we don't realize how much choice we have in how we view the world, how we interpret the world. And she had a very clear interpretation of the world. And I recently read a quote from her that said, "I don't do depression." when she was asked how she managed to deal with all of the challenges that she had in her life. She said, "I don't do depression." And I thought that was a great example of this deliberate choice about her mindset. It's like she didn't view things as warranting depression. She just forged ahead and was determined to make the best of situations and work hard to do well. So that was good. Below Jupiter is Saturn, and Saturn is where we have our challenges to master. And I wanted to bring up the gate 41 here because in unconscious, because the gate 41 is about holding a vision for what's possible. It's a creative energy. It can be a daydreaming energy. And I think it's in its highest expression, it's an energy of leadership that says, I have a vision for what's possible, and enrolling people in that vision. And I think she had a strong vision for what was possible for humanity and for us as a country and as a democracy, and the rights and the people who needed to be protected and supported and helped. And when we master our challenges in Saturn, we get to reap the benefits of our Jupiter. And I think with the clarity she had about the vision she held for what was possible for us as human beings, she was able to have a very clear and deliberate and positive mindset about moving forward and doing her best and interpreting even challenges as something positive. It's often said that even her dissents were powerful and effective. And so she didn't feel defeated even if she was overruled, but she clearly stated her position and what she felt was important. And some say that her dissents had as much impact, if not more impact, than when she was in the majority. So I thought that was useful to point out. I also wanted to look at the gate 51 here in Uranus, and Uranus is where we are unusual or unexpected. And the gate 51 in the lower expression is considered the gate of shock. In the highest expression, it's initiation, particularly initiation into spirit, into the love of spirit, into unconditional love. And I think she wielded this energy quite beautifully in bringing people along with her in her understanding of the equality of human beings and how we all deserved justice and equality and a fair chance, a fair shake. So I think she did a beautiful job of initiating people into that, that understanding, that mindset. I also wanted to look at Pluto, which is an overall life theme. And here she had the gate 62, conscious and unconscious, which is the gate of details and organization. She was clearly a detailed and organized person. And I think someone referred to her as a precise female, but she was known for being so careful about the law and understanding, and she was quite the wordsmith in expressing her opinions and her viewpoints very clearly and with great, not only detail, but great support of facts. So I think that was a great example of her as well. And then just below that, Chiron. Chiron is what our soul comes into this life to master and to heal and to then help others with. And the gate 8 is the gate of contribution. This is a gate of making a difference in the world. And she was clearly, this was the background soul level expression of who she was in the world, was making a difference, no matter the cost to her. She was just an amazing human being. And this is, I think, a great evidence in her chart that she was on track with her life, throughout her life, not knowing her design, of course, but living it. And I find that so true as I do life path and soul mission readings with clients that focus on the Chiron and on the incarnation cross. I find that most people are living true to who they are, living true to their soul's mission and their life path without even knowing it. It's just, it's like we can't help but be who we are and express that. Of course, there are exceptions to that, but I think it's fairly common that we actually are on track with who we were designed to be, because we kind of can't help it. Good. Then I wanted to jump back up here to the moon. The moon is what drives us. And I wanted to look at these two energies. And the gate 44 is the gate of truth and of sharing the truth with integrity. And she was clearly always focused on the truth and promoting that. And the 44 also is an ability to make things look good, to package things so that they are appealing. And she was quite the wordsmith and able to present her opinions and her approach with great clarity and great influence to convince people, to influence people with the truth and integrity. And then the 29 here, unconscious, is the gate of yes. It's the gate of commitment and devotion. And she was clearly devoted to her family and to all of her jobs, particularly, of course, being a Supreme Court justice for many, many decades. She was not shy about committing to things and jumping in full in. Now I want to talk about her incarnation cross. It's these top 4 energies. See if I can just grab those. Yes, good. So you can see down near the bottom of the chart here is she's the right angle cross of Eden, which is a combination of these 4 energies. And I'm not going to take the time to go into these 4 energies specifically, but I do want to address the cross itself, which is a synthesis of those 4 gate energies. And the cross of Eden is all about protecting the innocent, protecting the innocence of people and protecting innocent people. And it is often a cross that we find with lawyers and even public defenders, because it's about protecting those who need and deserve to be protected. And she clearly was an amazing example of that in her life, of protecting those who needed to be protected and who deserved to be protected. Good. I also wanted to point out that she had a defined will center. So this red triangle here is willpower energy. And she, despite her diminutive stature, she was quite tiny, she was a powerful woman. And those who knew her recognized her power, and it was widely known. I think it's the image that I think of is the velvet glove over the iron fist. You know, she could be quite forceful when needed, but she always did it in kind of a gentle and respectful way. So I think she wielded her willpower in an admirable way. Also, she had the gate of power, the gate 34, this red gate here. So she was busy and was very powerful in her everyday life, in her actions, in her career, in her trajectory, in her marriage, in her parenting. She was a powerhouse of a tiny woman. And finally, I want to mention the gate, the channel here. She had the 59-6 that connects the sacral to the emotional solar plexus. And this is a powerful channel. It's protective. in energy. It protects the family, protects the tribe, makes sure that everyone has the resources that they need to flourish and to thrive. And this, again, was a very powerful superpower for her to protect the innocent and protect her family and do whatever it took to honor and help thrive everyone in her tribe, which was really her country and really also her humanity, and being a woman and supporting women and women's rights, but supporting the rights of everyone. She was quite a remarkable person. So this is just a brief overview of her chart. I hope this was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions or if you'd like to see anyone else that I can do a celebrity chart review about. Thank you.